Hello, I'm very happy to be here again. This is now, I think, since 2018-19, I'm here more or less every year. The COVID situation was a little bit different, but now I'm happy to be on this conference. I would be, even if it wouldn't be in Dubrovnik, but it's much better than Dubrovnik, I suppose. So, for the beginning, I tried to find a joke for the beginning of this presentation, and I asked ChatGPT, and it wasn't really funny. And then I realized that I'm using the free ChatGPT. Then I turned to the 4.0, and then the joke was much better because it's a payable one. Yeah, it says that they say that the bill of lading is the most negotiable document in shipping, unless, of course, you try to negotiating it with a customer officer. I think he or she nailed it, isn't it? So, as my dear colleague and mentor and co-worker and chief Marco Paulica yesterday said, we are both trying to deal with the forest, not with the trees. Even with the rainforest this time a little bit. We will deal with the trees of this convention eventually, but now I would like to go with a little bit broader explanation. So the first thing, and don't judge me too much because of these icons. I don't really know what the first one means. That is what my computer chose yesterday. Well, nevertheless, okay. So it all started, I think, what we are doing, what shipping industry is doing, the freight forwarders, warehouses, professors, we are all doing it because in some point in the history, somebody in one part of the world decided to sell something to somebody on the other part of the world. So this is the reason of the carriage contract and the warehouse contract and the control and all this freight forwarding contract, all this that we are talking these days is connected to the fact that somebody is selling some commodity or some goods to the person that is not there with him or her. So then these concepts and these different contracts have had to be developed in order to have, let's say, safe business for both, for the one that is selling and for the one that is buying. So this is the starting point of all the story. So the older that I am, more I like the histories. Well, so if we look at the bill of lading, before the bill of lading, there was a book of lading, which didn't really had the same functions as bill of lading, with these three functions that we know today. Oh, I'm sorry. I have to say one more thing before I go on. I have to make one disclosure. This is a serious one. I am of eventual conflict of interest. I am shareholder in CargoX and also consultant of CargoX, which is one of the 10 EBL solution providers that have the IGP and I approved. So this is something that I have to disclose, obviously, for the public. Sorry for this interruption. Yeah. So the book of lading was kept by a clerk on the ship who was a very important person, VIP, almost like the master. The reason was that it depended a lot on him. You know? So if he was cheating or doing something wrong, they would use red hot iron and marked him on the forehead. So this is the history of the book of lading. And then in Genoa, in 13th century, the first bill of lading was found. And for a same carriage, but carriage, we would not say the road carriage, because it was not the road carriage, but the land carriage in Maghreb. in Maghrebi, traders were using persons to travel with the goods, not the documentary process like in Europe. But this documentary process from Genoa then, developed, and now we heard yesterday the whole history of bill of lading with the Harter's Act and the Hague Rules from 24, and 100 years since then. It seems that sometimes not a lot has changed, but it has a lot has changed. So the bill of lading first had fewer functions. It was the proof of receipt. It was the proof of the existence and the content of the contract of carriage. And later it became a document of title, which is a very important fact. As it is document of title, it enables, some would say, the transfer of ownership. The other would say, if you would read Delfini, not necessary transfer of ownership, but the transfer of entitlement to demand the goods at the port of destination, which I like more than the transfer of ownership. It's different with the way bill, seaway bill or airway bill or consignment note in rail or road carriage. I try to understand the different nomination of these documents. I didn't really get to the roots of it. Why consignment note in rail and road and way bill in maritime and air carriage, but there must be some reason that. So these documents, the way bill and the consignment note, are not negotiable, are not the document of that. You cannot transfer the right or the entitlement to demand the goods to another person. So this is like to put these ones. Okay. So this is a comparison of bill of lading versus, I took rail consignment note. So the three functions were already explained. The transferability, the bill of lading could be usually it is to order, could be to bearer, but very rarely. The consignment note is not transferable. Well, Marco, you would recall when we were writing the carriage of goods by road act. Okay, so this is the Slovenian act. I don't know if we two were so smart or so foreseeing the future, but I think that we more or less took what was in the old law. But in Slovenia, there is a possibility in the rail transport that you make a consignment note transferable, negotiable. There is a possibility. You can write on it that it is negotiable. So this is something that is not foreseen, I would say, but usually consignment note, especially if we are talking the CIM consignment note from COTIF, it is not negotiable. So then the very important role of bill of lading is in letter of credit or DC, LC, DC, whatever. On the other hand, rail consignment note is not used in LC. Who is the issuer? The issuer is, in case of BL, carrier, could be also NVOCC, could be in some cases also the shipper, but that is more the fact of the decision of the carrier that actually entitles shipper to issue the EBL on the blankets of the EBL. That's not so, but I heard that Maersk is doing that and some other companies. In issuance of consignment note is a little bit different. It is completed by shipper and then signed by both parties. usually it would have to be followed also by the delivery of the goods for the transport. So it's a little bit special contract. I don't know how is it in English, realny contract. It's a contract that needs to have some actual action. So this is at least in the old law. Since the Vilnius Protocol of 1999 of Cotif Convention, that was changed, but that was in the old railway regulation. Then the delivery of the goods is only against presentation of the original. Some carriers would say all the originals of the BL. Even though the carrier is free if he if the goods are delivered to the person that gives only on original, that's also okay. Nevertheless, some companies, I heard, they demand all the originals. So the goods can be delivered without the original for the rail consignment note. The number of originals, usually 3 in bill of lading. It would be 5 in rail consignment note. It is decision of the carrier what will be the name of this 5. Usually it's 5 copies. I took the liberty to write the case of Slovenia here, which is 5 sheets of consignment note, but I wouldn't go into so much detail. So then we have digitalization, which is a big thing in electronic bill of lading, going a little bit faster than in rail consignment note, and the international framework, which is Hague and Risby rules, and in rail consignment note that would be COTIF or CMGS for some East European countries, and also for a part of Asia. So why is bill of lading so important for the international trade? As I said before, and I think you're all aware of it, it is a document of title, and it's very important in the trade finance. So it enables trade finance, it enables payments of the goods that are traveling from the guy or lady that decided to sell the things on the other part of the world. So this is the very important function of bill of lading, which is not a part of the consignment note or way bill. Just for the sake of information, the ones that did not work a lot with the actual documents, the seaway bill and the bill of lading are completely alike. If I would take Hapag-Lloyd's way bill, seaway bill, and the bill of lading, the only difference would be that it says up there for the seaway bill, non-negotiable, and it's marked at the around the paper. Otherwise, all the clauses and all of this is very similar. So I'm many times using this picture, which is a little bit like your picture from yesterday. These are 2 contracts. As I said, one of the most important contract that was ever invented in history, the sales contract, is the one that is using the document that is actually issued in the transport, in the carriage contract. And this is used in the LC or DC, so documentary credit or letter of credit, in different shapes. So this is the big advantage of bill of lading in comparison to consignment note. So I also made this comparison, which I think we're gonna make it short a little bit, otherwise I will be too long. So maybe just the main difference between the letter of credit and documentary collection is the, let's say, maybe I think that the risk allocation. So if you are working with the party, or if you're doing really big business as a seller, or if you are doing business with a party that you don't trust yet so much, you would use LC. If you are working with a party that you already know, that you've made a lot of businesses already, then you would use DC, because in the DC, the bank does not guarantee the payment of the goods. In the LC, if the bank of the advising bank, the bank of the seller, provided all the documents, which would usually be bill of lading, certificate of origin, packing list, original invoice, maybe some other documents if it is food or dangerous cargo or whatever. If these documents are presented and fulfill the demands from the LC, then the bank will pay. It's not decision of the buyer anymore. So if this is fulfilled, then the process will go on. So this is the main difference between the letter of credit and the documentary credit. If we go now towards this new convention, it's called the NDC Convention, Negotiable Cargo Documents, NCD. I would maybe make a short presentation for you that was prepared by Uncitral, and I think it's a very good one. So try to see this. Maybe just one comment. A little bit hard to expect the negotiable airway bill, as everything is happening so fast. It's easy to imagine the negotiable consignment note in the rail carriage or road carriage for a long distance. Because if you think of it in the international trade, the maritime trade is the global one. The railway, the air freight carriage is also a global one, but the rail carriage and the road carriage is usually regional and usually shorter in terms of time of carriage. There are these big ideas of Belt and Road Initiative and so on. Maybe there will be in the future these long distance trains for Far East to Europe, but now it's still, I think, regional. So one decision is definitely important for the convention. It is actually a decision to have these rules in the convention. So what were the arguments for the convention and not for some soft law solution? So that was something that I asked at one conference, and this is the explanation more or less that was offered. They said that negotiable cargo documents demand certainty and uniformity. Yeah, that's very true, and also predictability. Since the presentation of one of the first rules that we know from the Hammurabi Code, that the predictability of the law definitely is one of the most important features of law. Okay, yeah, we can accept that. MLETR solution is not binding. But that's not the most important about the MLETR. MLETR is the offer to the countries how to regulate it, and that will be domestic law. It won't be international. So it's not solving the problem of international trade. Banks are definitely the ones that do demand very clear, strict rules. They are indeed conservative institutions in the sense of changes, in the sense of also digitalization in trade. Because when we were showing yesterday, Mark, today, me this picture with all these stakeholders in the contract of carriage and the sales contract. If just one party does not accept the digital workflow, it won't work. If one bank says no, we're not going to accept it, it doesn't work. If the customs says no, we are not going to accept it, it doesn't work. So it is also a good argument. And then the last one, which I don't really can accept, the soft law and transport law underperformed. I'm not really sure that this is true. We do have some important soft law in the transport. Let's just remember York Antwerp's rules, which are in every single charter party, in every single bill of lading, and we could go on. Also for the multimodal transport, the ICC UNCTAD rules are accepted by the industry, and the convention was not from the 1980. So these are some facts of acceptances. A little bit long. I will maybe just take one rule. It's not the whole rule, it's just a part of the rule. Anyway, we are talking about the draft, which should be accepted by the General Assembly of the United Nations this autumn or the beginning of the winter. So how do you issue the negotiable cargo document? How do you make a document that is usually not negotiable? How does it become the document of title? So there are two ways. One is simply to put on top of it something like saying to order or negotiable. This is one way. Or if that is not possible, you can issue standalone negotiable document where no transport document was issued. These are two main solutions. There could be also another solution to issue aside to the consignment note the transferable. This document, which will be transferable and document of title. I'm not really sure how this will work with two documents, but this is also one possibility. So these are key features: legal clarity, recognition, access to finance. The payment of the goods while in transit, and maybe if I try to look ahead a little bit, is that they made at the UNCITRAL one rather smart move, if you ask me. They put in the provision that 3 ratifications are enough for the convention coming into force. We have seen what has happened with Hamburg rules, what is happening with Rotterdam rules, what is happening with MLTR. MLTR, I think UNCITRAL is doing a great work. The content of what UNCITRAL is doing is great. I don't know, maybe what is happening sometimes, what is the reason, but as I disclosed at the beginning, working in this industry by offering the electronic bill of lading, if the industry does not accept it, then we have a problem, you know. So this was actually my proposal of the title of my presentation, Stairway to Heaven, for the convention or Highway to Hell. You know, the Led Zeppelin and the AC/DC. Igor, to whom we are very thankful for this conference, has said that this is maybe a little bit too much for the conference. Igor is not here, but he would recall that he said, "Yeah, maybe a little bit more conservative name of this your presentation would be good." So, you know, maybe for the end of my presentation, did you heard the story about the 2 hunters that were dragging the deer If you have not, well, it's a short story. So you have these two hunters that are dragging the gear for the rear legs, you know, and it's muddy and it's raining and they are struggling and it's not working and the antlers are getting into ground. And then another deer comes and says, "What are you doing?" And they said, "We are dragging the deer, obviously. Can you see?" And he said, "Well, this is not a good method. Maybe you should try to drag it by the antlers." And they said, "Ha, very, very smart." And they start to drag the deer by the antlers, and it went great. But they went in the wrong direction because the car was there. So I hope that this time the convention will not go in the wrong direction, because I think the method is good, and I think that let's hope that the industry will embrace it. Thank you very much.